loves, and welcome back to my channel. Ooh, the lighting. It's Emily here, and today I wanted to sit down with you guys and share a video about Dionysus. I like doing these deity videos. I have been working with Dionysus for a while. He's kind of been like one of my Patreons for a while now. I'd literally say like over a year, and I was wondering what video to film for you guys because, as you may have realised, I've been a few videos short because I'm working night shifts and day shifts at the moment, so my energy levels are depleting rapidly. So I thought before I take my afternoon nap this afternoon ahead of tonight's night shift, I would sit down and film this video for you guys. So I do hope you enjoy. First things first, if you are new here, my name is Emily, and I do try to post videos on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays all about spirituality, witchcraft, law of attraction, my spiritual journey, good high vibe stuff to help you raise your vibe, yada yada yada. That bit said, you know, you can head down there and subscribe. I'd appreciate it. Hopefully you like me and my content, and that we could work together. You never know. So yeah, moving on into the video, which is probably why you've even clicked on it. Dionysus is a very fiery character. So I was introduced to Dionysus. I kept seeing magpies. I was asking for deities, and there was a huge energy shift in my life when he came in. I was going through a lot of things, and I could feel a presence here, but I wasn't entirely sure who it was, and I was seeing magpies everywhere. Now, I've mentioned before in here, I believe, but I love magpies. Magpies are beautiful, but I only started to see the beauty in magpies because I was seeing them, and when I say I'm seeing them, I literally mean like I would see 10 walking down the road. Like, there was a time when I was driving back from, unfortunately, staying at hospital with a family member, and I was driving back, and this was when I first started to notice the magpies coming into my life, and I was like literally on an hour drive from the hospital, like from the hospital, drop that person off and to come home. I saw like 30 magpies. No word of lie, no exaggeration. Okay, it was a joke, and my partner was going, because he was with me at the time because we went together, and he was going, Jesus, like the magpies are following you. And I knew that this was a time I could feel a new energy in my life, and I looked into it, and it said, oh, it's for Dionysus, like it's one of the animals that are associated with him, and which I'll get on into in a minute. And I was like, oh, I don't really like understand the god of wine, and for so long I kind of just off-put it because Dionysus does have a little bit of a reputation. Okay, so when you like look up the deities and the patrons that you can have in your life, and you see one is the god of wine, you're a bit like, okay, like why have I not got the god of beauty or the god of war or anything like that? And that's the instinct that comes into your head. So I was a little bit like, what's going on here? But I slowly, the more I delved into him and who he was and what he stood for, the more I could see why he'd come into my life. So Dionysus, yes, is the god of wine, but he's also the god of ecstasy. He's also well known for rebirth and death, or death and rebirth, because he has been to the underworld and brought his mum back out the other side. So there are a lot of things to him. Now, Dionysus has two sides to him. He is extremely happy, full of life, fun-loving, ecstasy, wine, yada yada yada, and then you have this darker, deeper side of him, which is rage and anger, and he was known for basically making people go insane so that they would hurt themselves. So he would never directly injure anyone or hurt someone, but he would play the games, he would help them lose their mind, and they would then go off and hurt themselves, injure themselves, or injure other people as well. And he does have that rage element to him. So essentially, like, he's got quite a bipolar nature, which, you know, I've not made that a secret here. So he really did speak out for me, and one of the things I have said repeatedly over and over again is I'm here to get rid of fear, I'm here to experience life, and he is a fun-fulfilled god. He is a fun-loving, just a party man, okay? He wants you to take the enjoyment or see the enjoyment in life. So if you work too hard, which obviously I do, I get reminded. So when I'm working too hard or I'm on late shifts, I'll see magpies on the way home, and it's a nice little reminder to say, wait, you need to step back and have some fun today. Like, you need to self-love yourself today, you need to do something for you. And he's perfect for that reasoning, because when I know that I'm connecting with Dionysus, I know that I've got that reminder that, you know what, it's okay to have fun, it's okay to experience things. He's also later on became the patron of arts, so one of the things that if I was an actor or something like that, it would be great to work with him, or a singer, like performing arts. But obviously I see YouTube as performing arts, so when he came into my life, my YouTube channel started to go up as well, because I had that creative spark behind me. He was going, yeah, do this, and I knew that if I had him in my corner, then I could create something a lot more interesting. So yeah, like I said, I've been working with him for a year, and he is a very, very misunderstood god. I misunderstood him, and I think a lot of people misunderstand him when he first appears to you. Like I said, he appeared to me in magpie forms, and the reason Dionysus is associated with the magpie, for instance, is purely because magpies have that energy. They like the sparkly things, they like the luxurious things in life. And they take them without a shadow of a doubt. They are theirs to deal with, they are theirs to enjoy, and therefore it's associated with him because it's like his character and his nature as well. But he can also come to you and show himself to you in your dreams. You'll often find someone that you are endlessly drinking wine in. You might be able to see wine, smell wine, have that taste come into your life, and that, like, use all your senses like they do. One of the things that I found was that I was in a lot of places that had wine at this time as well. So like I said, that injury, when I saw all those 30 magpies, the incident that happened had gone from excessive drinking, and that is what caused it. And it was like, okay, so I'm surrounded by this. I feel like do you know what? I wrote down a list so that I didn't ramble, and I feel like I'm just rambling because this is all coming from my heart, so apologies. So yeah, so they're for magpies, dreams. I've also said he's the patron. I literally just wrote down my brain before I wanted to speak to this. And like I said, that nature that he's got also shows the two sides of everything that could happen. So for instance, with wine, he might be beautiful and luxurious, but that rage element comes with, if we've had too much wine, you've got that rage element. So it depicts everything. It's like he's a nice reminder that there's an equilibrium. If you are doing one thing and you're constantly, say for instance, working too hard, and you are constantly working and working and working, and you're not making any time for yourself, he's going to remind you of that, because you're then going to be unhappy, you're going to be angry, you're going to have those lower vibrations, and he's the reminder that goes, actually, there is some sort of equilibrium. You can't have too much fun without having some sort of reality or darkness, and you can't have too much darkness without some sort of fun. He's a nice reminder of that equilibrium that comes out. So when you're working with him, there's a lot of things that you can actually do to work with him and to honor him. So he does have very specific days that you can celebrate him on, and occasions that you can celebrate him on. There's one coming up in November, the end of November, beginning of December time. But obviously you can have your altar to him. A lot of altars will have pink, purple and green on them, purely because they are the colour of wine, they are the colour of grapes, that's how you make wine. But he also loves to have music, he loves cinnamon, musk scents. You can put some panthers on there, because one of his animals is panthers. Obviously one of the things that I want, which I still not got, which I'm still waiting for, is a beautiful set of magpie wings that could have that beauty and that darkness. Because the reason I want them is because I actually want real magpie wings, purely because not only are they beautiful, but they also represent that darkness, because obviously it is a bone, it is a skeleton, for instance. That's one of the reasons why I want them. But you can have an altar to him, and not necessarily just things that he would enjoy, but on the altar to him you can put things that are beautiful to you, things that make you have that little bit of spark, that little bit of ecstasy, things that spark your creativeness. Because like I said, when you work with Dionysus, it's the way you honor him is by enjoying your life. The way you honor him is through your own self-development. Okay, he's very much like, if you don't want to put in the work, he will get pissed off. If you forget about him and ignore him, he will get pissed off. Like, I have to acknowledge every time I see him, feel him or hear him, because I'm like, that not only is that a reminder to myself that you have to remember the work that I need to put in, but it also is a case of I don't want to ignore him, because if I ignore him, his rage will come out. So when you have the altar to him, sorry, that's where I was, wasn't it? When you have an altar to him, it's not necessarily just what he wants. Obviously the offerings for him are, yes, but you could offer him a song you've written, you could offer him a piece of music. He loves music, but not music in the way that beautiful, fun, happy classical, okay? He enjoys fun music you can dance to, okay? So the more party music that you resonate with. So one of the rituals and things that I would do for him is I will have a dance party for myself. I will turn on music and I will be in that moment, and I'm like, I'm going to enjoy myself. I'm going to play half an hour of songs. I'm going to play my playlist, my bad girl playlist that I've got, and I will dance, I will sing, and I will have fun, and I will raise that energy, because that's what life is for. Life is for enjoying. And so Dionysus for me works really well hand in hand with the fact that I believe my purpose here is to reduce fear in my life and to tackle the extreme fear that I have in my life, and the anxieties I have, because he is that guy that's like, you know what, stop taking yourself so seriously. Please stop taking yourself seriously. Have fun. A couple of the other things that I have written down here is just to let you know, like, a bit of background about him. See, this is what I mean when I say I ramble, because I'm passionate and I forget to say the important pieces of information you kind of want. I think what I might start doing is just putting bullet points in the comments for you guys, so that if you get bored of me, you can go in the comments. But he is the son of Zeus and Semele. So Zeus, basically, Semele was a mortal. Zeus went down and had a little bit of hanky-panky. She had no idea who he was. Then Hades came down. Hades was jealous of this fact. So he said, ask him to show him in your true form. She asked for that. He obviously granted the wish because he was in love. She burnt to death, you know. So then Zeus had to take the baby, or baby Dionysus, out of her, put him in his leg, help him grow, and then he was decapitated into several pieces at one point and put back together and gone to the nymphs. There's a lot of representation of Dionysus in Greek mythology, but also in Egyptian mythology as well. So I've done a lot of research into Isis and Isis's husband, and there is a lot of cross-referencing, and I find that with a lot of Egyptian mythology. I really like Egyptian mythology, and I do find it crosses over to Greek mythology really well. So he is an important role, because he was never meant to be here. He was one of the first demigods that was around, and he wasn't a demigod in the way of, okay, I'm going to do my purpose, I'm going to do my cause. He was a demigod that was like, I'm going to go live my life, like, I am God's gift to this world. I am having fun, and that's what I'm here to do. He is very, very beautiful. He has the option to seduce people. He's got that masculine energy to him. So again, one of the ways that you can work with him and really honor him is to work on your own sexual power. There's a book called Seduction. It's a big blue book. To see if I can find a picture, I will. I've got it downstairs, and I have studied the book of Seduction pure as an honoring to him. So I will sit there in that time and really understand people, understand their different characters and seduction methods. It sounds really weird, but because he had that, he was obviously the son of Zeus. He was gorgeous, he was fun, he would seduce people, he's got a lot of sexual energy. He would work really well with you if you have some sort of sexual trauma or something that you have to work through as well, or some limiting beliefs in that area, because he's got that confidence, he's got that pizzazz about him that he will really rub off onto you. And by working on yourself and those elements, and the fact is, to work through a lot of these things and to work with a lot of our shadows, we have to tackle them face on. And the elements that he's got, which is fun and sexuality and creativeness, they are positive things to work through. They are positive shadows to tackle, and he can really help develop someone and change your character entirely. I am not the person I was when I first started working with him than at where I am now, you know what I mean? So there are lots of little things you can do for him, and I think that compared to any other type of god or deity or patron, there is a lot more of the stuff you can do for him. It's more about working on yourself. So the way you honor him really is through working on yourself and really acknowledging his freedom, acknowledging what he stood for, more than giving him offerings and honoring him in particular ways. It is more about, actually, if you're working with him, he takes so much enjoyment and so much happiness with you being happy, you being creative, and seeing that spark come through. He wants to surround himself with those people and that energy, and that is what he's really after. He's after your energy more than anything. That's the biggest offering you can give him, is your vibe. So I hope you got something out of that, okay? If you have any questions about Dionysus, leave it down below. If you want to see my altar then let me know. I'm not going to do it now because realistically I have about 3 hours of sleep before an 18-hour shift. So I'm going to take my enjoyment, take my own hint here, and go and sit, chill, nap and enjoy that nap right now. But if you have any questions, please leave them down below as always. And that's it. I hope you have a lovely morning, afternoon, evening or night, wherever you are. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for holding space. I hope you got something out of this. If not, thank you for still being here and allowing me to ramble in my delirious state. And I am going to deal with this now, and I will see you in a few days for another video. Bye guys.